The Mongol Empire. You think you know their story, but you're about to discover the shocking truths that history books left out. These aren't just tales of conquest. They are stories of brutal genius, unimaginable scale, and a legacy that secretly shapes our world even today. Prepare yourself, because we're diving deep into the forgotten facts of the largest land empire in history. First, let's address the sheer scale of their impact. Genghis Khan didn't just conquer nations. He reshaped the entire planet. His campaigns led to the deaths of over 40 million people. That was a staggering 11% of the world's population at the time. The devastation was so widespread that entire regions were depopulated. Farmland, left untended for decades, reverted back to forests. Scientists have found that this mass reforestation was so significant it actually removed huge amounts of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, leading to a period of global cooling. Imagine that an empire so destructive it literally changed the Earth's climate. But their methods were as terrifying as their numbers. The Mongols were masters of psychological warfare, and they pioneered one of the earliest and most horrifying forms of biological warfare. When they laid siege to the city of Kaffa, their army was struck by the bubonic plague. Instead of retreating, they turned their own dead into a weapon. They loaded plague-infected corpses onto their catapults and hurled them over the city walls, intentionally spreading the disease among the defenders. The panic and death that followed were devastating. Historians believe this act was one of the key events that brought the Black Death into Europe, triggering a pandemic that would kill millions more. It was a strategy so grim and effective it's still studied today. And the man who started it all, Genghis Khan, left a genetic legacy that is almost unbelievable. Modern DNA studies have revealed something astonishing: as many as 16 million men alive today, or 1 in every 200 men on the planet, are direct descendants of Genghis Khan and his family. Think about that for a second. His Y chromosome is one of the most successful in human history, a genetic footprint spread across a continent through his sons, grandsons, and the vast power they wielded. It's a quiet biological echo of an empire that once ruled a quarter of the world, a hidden bloodline connecting millions of people back to a single legendary conqueror. But how did they achieve all this? Their secret weapon was the Mongol warrior himself, fused to his horse. Imagine an army that seemed to never sleep. Mongol riders could travel for days on end, covering over 100 miles a day, a speed that was unheard of in the medieval world. Their endurance was legendary, and the source of it was brutal and practical. To survive during long, punishing rides without stopping to hunt or cook, they would puncture a vein on their horse's neck and drink its blood. This, combined with dried milk curds they carried, gave them all the protein and hydration they needed to keep moving. They were a living, breathing storm of cavalry that could appear out of nowhere, strike, and vanish before their enemies even knew what was happening. Of course, all of this led to one undeniable fact: the Mongol Empire was the largest contiguous land empire the world has ever seen. At its peak, it stretched over 24 million square kilometers, from the Pacific Ocean to the heart of Europe. It was larger than the Roman Empire, bigger than the Ottoman Empire, and its landmass dwarfed even the British colonial territories. This wasn't just conquest. It was the creation of a supercontinent under a single rule. They connected east and west like never before, creating what some call the Pax Mongolica, a century of relative peace that allowed trade, ideas, and technologies to flow freely along the Silk Road. But there's more. The Mongols had a communication system that was essentially the medieval internet. Called the Yun, it was a network of relay stations strategically placed across the empire. Messengers carrying urgent dispatches could swap for a fresh horse at each station, allowing them to travel at incredible speeds. A message could cross Asia in a matter of days, a journey that would have taken months for a normal traveler. This system gave the Khans unparalleled command and control over their vast domain. They knew about rebellions, troop movements, and administrative issues with a speed that their rivals could only dream of. It was this hidden network that held their massive empire together. So the next time you think of the Mongols, remember it's not just about warriors on horseback. It's about a climate-changing conquest, the horrifying birth of biological warfare, a genetic legacy imprinted on millions, and an empire so vast and sophisticated it laid the groundwork for the modern world. The shadow of the Mongol Empire is long, and its secrets are still being uncovered. Thanks for watching. If you want to uncover more shocking truths from history, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. You won't believe what we're exploring next.